So I had no advice for her, none. I just said, you have to get over your marriage that's split up, you've been flung over to America, been sold over there, you have to just get a wee life of your own. You know, she just needed calm, that's all she needed, I thought. Anyway, you would not believe, the very next meeting, who is she sitting next to in front of me? My mum, with her arm in my mum's arm, without even saying to me, oh, I'm back talking to mum again. And the stuff that I had told her about what John had done to me, she's obviously gone back and told my mum, right? They were thinking that perhaps somewhere along the line we were going to get him done for paedophilia or something, right? So there was this big thing going on. So that was happening just before I split up with my husband as well. It was like the whole family, the whole Jehovah's Witness women were pressuring me, saying, you have to give your mum back that respect and let her bully your children. Right? And separate the white ones from the Pakis. And it was the Pakis she wanted. She didn't even want the white ones. Do you know what I'm saying? It was so fucked up. Anyway, then on my wedding night, my sister took an overdose of pills, paracetamol, and slept in my wedding bed. It was so freaky. Thomas, my husband, was like, your fucking family, fucking monsters, alright? At the wedding, she made a big speech. My sister gets up at 7 o'clock in the morning and she's looking at Thomas's dad, Harry. If anyone calls her any bad names, they have to come through me. And then she tried to commit suicide on my bed, wedding bed. So I went to visit her in hospital and she's out of it with the drugs. Just saying, I obviously know what's happening. They're just using her and abusing her, you know, and trying to send her for information and whatever. And she's trying to get out of her own situation as well. It's just a horrible mess. But I had a dream last night that basically it was her helping me pack a suitcase. And I was all ready to, my suitcase was ready to go, everything was all neat in it. And she deliberately yanked the zip so hard that it broke the zip. Now, you know what it's like if you're travelling and your zip's broken of your suitcase. It's impossible, isn't it? It's impossible. But she might have helped me pack it and whatever. And I think she even provided the suitcase. It was like that kind of thing. But she left me all broken and a mess. And I thought that's what reminded me today, after having that dream, that my sister Syra is not mentally well. She's like that dumbwit across the road. Never had a foundation, so they have no stability. Never had any growth put into them, good growth, so they can produce good fruits. No. And on top of it, complete persecution from everyone else, you know, and they realise they're dumbwits and everyone else knows things and they don't know them. Anyway, so when I had this dream last night, I realised that I just want to warn everybody, Syra, I actually don't know who that girl is. That's the God's honest truth. Ever since she was young, she wouldn't speak to any of us. None of us. She would just sit, and then if my mum would annoy her, she would sleep in the bath during the night. You know, and I do blame the Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't think she would have been that little girl if she wasn't a Jehovah's Witness, and if the abuse hadn't happened to her, you know. And my mum is that kind of person. She puts the blame on the person, as if, well, your tits were too big. You know, your stepdad couldn't endure looking at them without touching them. Do you know what I'm saying? She's that kind of woman. Accept it, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, the moral of the story is, do not trust Syra Khan. She calls herself a Khan. Do not trust her in any way whatsoever, because there is some other mechanism going on in that brain, and all it takes is an elder or two and my mum to say something and she'll go out and do a job for her. You know, they're not normal people. They've been done for money laundering. They've been done for, you know, I've been told to do illegal things, you know, and then I've had unfair dismissals and from situations because I can't defend myself because I've been blackmailed by them. So the moral of the story is, you know, don't trust them at all. Especially not Betty McFadden, especially not John McFadden, especially not Harris Khan, especially not Syra Khan McFadden, or Timothy McFadden. None of them. Gregor Ferguson, John Campbell, Robert Campbell, David Billingsby, all you elders from Watchtower, London, Bethel. You know, I'm so sad for you. You're like ants, and the people on earth are giants. You know, I would go through what I've been through again rather than sit in your Jehovah's Witness meetings. Now that is really saying something. Pardon me, it is really saying something. I'm not kidding. You know, really saying something. Because look what I've been through. And although I went through it all, and you know, the memories don't come back to me unless I have to tell them and talk to them, so it's painful me to help other people, but I'm doing it because I understand that we all go through things for a reason, and I hate watching women suffering when they don't have to. You know, and it's not for anyone's benefit except the greedy men at the top who have got all the fancy prostitutes and they're torturing them as well. So it's like women are not getting a break anywhere. And that's just wholly wrong, you know, because if the women are not getting a break, how can we produce happy sons? Our sons are that depressed and have to start looking after the mum. It's so depressing. There's no strength, there's no, you know, the power in one person, if they are taught right, I believe if I was to be able to spend a week training some women, they could change the whole world in the matter of hours for the better. You know, I'm not talking about, you know, I'm talking about the full structure of the world. You know, because me, myself and I are broken women. Loss of children and half a brain, religious and still stuck in my brain, all that religious stuff. It comes out my mouth and I don't even know I said it. You know, because it's so entrenched in me. 32 years of preparing for the meeting, going through the meeting and then discussing the meeting. Then preaching the meeting. And then eat, sleep, repeat, eat, sleep, repeat, eat, sleep. 32 years. You know. So the moral of this story is, sort yourself out. Give yourself a foundation that you are sure about. I'm going to help people do it. Then you can build, like the soil, you know, we're all plants. So you get your good soil, then you get a good seed, and that would be, right, what am I going to spend my life doing? And there's no point in just guessing. You have to find out, and the signs around you in the world will show you, this is your calling, this is your calling. You have to be open to those signs, but you can't be open to them until you have a good foundation, because that's what gives you peace of mind, to be open to them, right? I'm not going to show my whole book here, but you know what I'm saying. You need a good foundation to grow. But I'm telling you, if you even were able to have a week out of your life and just say, I'm not going on holiday this week, I am going to just work on me, you can do it. And I'll be able to give you like a structure, and it'll be so easy. Literally within the first hour you'll have a new life. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll just write a form, and you'll be able to fill in the form, and you'll be able to see in that form where you've went wrong. You know. Anyway.